Hello and a warm welcome to The Pulse, your fortnightly show that gets you issues impacting the society. I'm Neelu Vyas. This program brings before you the problems afflicting the society. We bring you face to face with the stakeholders who not only discuss the issue threadbare, but also offer solutions. It's examination time in school. Students are busy with their last-minute revisions. Parents and teachers are struggling hard and even anxious as to how their child will perform. Will he get good grades? Will he get the admission in the best of schools? Will he crack the IIT or the medical exam? Well, all these feelings are leading up to a lot of stress amongst the children. How do we manage this stress and how do we give the children a stress-free environment during the exams? All this and much more on today's episode of The Pulse. Joining me on the panel, Sonam Wangchuk, innovator and education reformist. He runs the famous Three Idiots School in Leh. And if you remember the Amir Khan starrer Three Idiots, the character of Funsuk Wangchuk is no one but Sonam Wangchuk himself. So a big round of applause for him. It's a pleasure having you on the program. Then we also have on the program Dr.Imran Nurani, who's consultant psychologist at Sir Gangaram Hospital in Delhi. We also have UN Kaware. He's the Additional Commissioner of Academics at Kendriya Vidyalaya. And also on the program is R.L. Trikha, who's Director of Fiji. And also joining us on the program is Swashant Srivastav. He's member of the Greater Noida Parent Association. I welcome all the panelists on the show and a broad welcome to this wonderful audience which is joining us on the program. And let me tell you, these are all class 10 and 11 and a few students from class 9 who are joining us on the program. So without wasting much time, we'll start with the panel discussion. So for the students' mind, you know, it's like all the prescriptions coming from the big panelists, they are speaking from their point of view. But a child's mind is very difficult. It's very sensitive. Definitely. And how much it's going to imbibe and what it's going to imbibe. And probably, I mean, another reality of the society is that you do have examination-related stress as a very big problem of the society. Right. What do you really have to tell the parents and the students who are appearing for the exams? Okay. What is the need of the hour, according to you?
Let me tell you one thing. It's not only you who are going for exams. It's your whole family who is going to appear for the exams. It's your mother, it's your father, it's all the family members who are actually getting ready for your exams. So when you say that a parent is putting on stress to me, it's actually they are anxious about your preparations. They want you to do good in life. So you don't have to do that emotional disconnect with them. Since adolescence is an age which we say that kids are very physically taxing for us, but adolescents are emotionally taxing for us because there are a lot of psychological complexes that you people are going through right now, like inferiority, superiority, and all those things. So you are actually competing those things and you are competing with the society right now. Your parents, which one of the students here mentioned, that they are always on us. We call those parents, there's a concept of positive parenting. It's actually for parents, which I want to tell them that follow this concept of positive parenting. An authoritative parent is one who actually uses the protocol for reinforcements. Even if you are studying for 1 hour, they'll be reinforcing your every step, one by one, so that you can be in a better positive frame of mind. Okay? Then
but Dr. Imran, can I just interrupt you here for a moment? That there are many times when the child looks very complacent, very stress-free, but it's the parents who are panicking. Yeah. So do we in the Indian society realize that along with the kids, even the parents need a lot of stress management? Definitely. And has that started actually happening in the society?
Yes, definitely. The parents are over anxious right now when your exams are around, okay? So what the recommendations are usually is we think that this anxiety, what you are going through, almost 60% of this anxiety is the parental anxiety which has transferred to you, okay? And there is very, very high need right now through the authorities that parent counseling, counselors, psychologists should be present in the school who are handling the stress of your parents as well as the children who are having these kinds of over expectations from themselves as well as the expectations from the parents.
I'll again interrupt you here and I'll come back to you on this, that every school mandatory now needs to have a counselor, a psychologist, where the parents and the children feel free to walk up to with their problems. But I want to know what's the trend. Like, there is a system in place where the children can walk up to a psychologist or a counselor. But from your experience, do the parents actually acknowledge that their child has some kind of a disorder because of the examinations?
Somewhere we see that many counselors and all the psychologists all are present in the school as according to the system prevailing, but parents do not feel that free to go to them, and even students don't walk up to the counselors feeling some kind of what if their problem would leak out to everyone, or what if the counselor would get to know that what the child is suffering from a sort of disorder or anything or any mental pressure. So like if a student walks up to a counselor to say that I'm being pressurized by my parents and I'm feeling a lot of pressure that I'm not able to perform well in my exams. So what would the counselor think about my parents? Okay. What if the counselor think about my family system? So that thing resists the student or even the parents to go to and approach the counselor.
Can I hear one of the teachers on this before I come to more students? Yes, you were saying something, ma'am.
Actually, it's true that the counselors are there, but many times children don't walk up to them. And even parents don't go to them. There's a lot of denial on their part that there is a problem. Right. They're not ready to accept that there is a problem, and they just overlook the fact that there is one sitting, every PTM they'll come, they'll meet the teacher, they'll ask the marks to the teacher, but they won't go and ask to the psychiatrist or the counselor that my child is not scoring well. Right. So what could be the reason? They don't do that. They just walk up to the class teacher, the subject teachers, and they are out from the school.
But for all these people who do not walk up to the counselor or the psychologist, what are the signs and symptoms you would through this program inform the children and the teachers and the parents that look, these are the signs and symptoms by which you can come to know that look, your child has some kind of a mental disorder because of examinations, because of studies?
For a mental disorder, we have a guideline for that. We need to diagnose it properly. There is a set of psychological tests and there is a diagnosis done. But a ready reference for you people is that if it is affecting your appetite, if you are not getting good sleep, if you are continuously having headache because of the stress and pressures, these are the red flag signs that stress is taking toll on you. And what he said that some kind of stress is always good for achievement and outcome of your results. But if you are having this on a continuous basis for more than 3 to 6 months, you should definitely meet a counselor or a psychologist. Second thing is that about the labeling part, which that girl said that we don't visit a counselor or a psychologist because the information will leak. But according to the professional and ethical guidelines, all the information related to any client or a student should be kept confidential. It should not be leaked out. But definitely there are lacunas in all the systems. But that doesn't mean that if you as a student are feeling that I need help, there's a lot of boom about mental health awareness these days. You should reach out for help rather than suffering for long. Your stress is because of some things. I'll just give you one SMART with what we say, S-M-A-R-T. SMART is you have to be specific with your goals. M is measurable. Once you are done with your experimentation on your academics and all those things, you should be able to account it, you should be able to measure how much I have completed and how much I have not. S-M-A, A is achievable. This is the most important one because don't be unrealistic with yourself. Don't set goals which are not of your intellectual level or your capacity. And then R is again realistic. You need to review it. You need to be realistic about your small short-term goals. And T is time management. Time management is very, very important with some intermittent breaks in between. You should be following there. So everybody is using a smartphone these days. But if you ask any of you that is there any kind of mindfulness activity or mindfulness app in your phone, which only takes 1 minute to revive and de-stress yourself in just 1 minute of exercise. It will not be there because there are so many mobile apps these days which are helping, which are very handy, which very, very senior VPs of the companies, I have recommended them these things, that once you are full of your academic stress or occupational stress, you go to the other room, put on your headphones, just put that mindfulness app for 1 minute or 2 minutes, close your eyes, you are so back after that. I will be recommending some guidelines, some apps like that which will help you bust this myth of unrealistic expectations from parents, from society, and the expectations from yourself. Stress comes when there is a big gap between what exactly you are and what you are thinking you want to be. It's the ideal self and the real self. Minimize that gap and just focus on yourself. You'll be happy.
So after this SMART prescription given by Dr. Nurani, any questions you have for the panelists? Anyone? Feel free to ask. Your anxieties, your fears, your worries, what you want from the education system. These are the best of people who can answer your questions. Yes.
My name is Nehal. I'm from class 9. I want to ask, everyone said here that we should enjoy our studies, but we are already told we have passed our exams and now we are going in 10th. So we are already told that boards are approaching. We have to study hard, we have to work hard, and we have to score well. So in that matter, in that pressure around us, how can we enjoy the studies? And for example, if I don't like biology, so how can I enjoy studying biology if I don't understand that, if I don't like that? I have to mug it up, and then I cannot enjoy it.
Yeah, I get your question. Mr. Wangchuk, and then I go to all the panelists on this brief question which he's asked. Mr. Wangchuk, if a student doesn't like biology, but then also because of the board's phobia, you've got to do bio, you've got to do maths, how do you really cope with this pressure? It's a very logical question which he has.
Yeah. I totally sympathize with you. The system is such that you have to do certain things whether you like it or not, because it has been, as I said, artificially, illogically categorized as important, whereas people have multiple intelligences. They should be allowed to opt some things and drop other things and still be happily doing what they want. Until that happens, and it should not take too long for that to happen, you should all also be joining to change such systems. Until that happens, we may have to take some bitter pills and go along, because this is a reason to change things.
Right.
I won't say every problem we have in our body, we be happy about it. We should act and remove these problems and sicknesses.
Right.
So this is one such example. We all need to act and not let only students suffer.